In this video, I'm going to explain some of the new features of Rift 1.3. So the main thing is that I've added icons for nearly everything in the UI. And this was to simplify and make it more apparent what each thing does. Instead of having check boxes that actually said in, out, source, marker, you can see that there's icons that represent the start point, the end point, markers, out point, all keys, which are just basically these. Now these are selected, but everything else is considered all keys, and selected keys. So you can toggle back and forth between those. And also, if you don't want to affect layers at all, there's a quick toggle that basically you can barely see it, and this is a limitation of Script UI, is that you can barely see it, but they're deactivated. So right now I can't click on them at all. But right now, if I were to apply something, and I have selected keys, if I were to do that, it's only going to move the selected keyframes. But if I wanted to go back and move the whole layer, I would just re-enable the layer group, and now the whole layer moves. So, and that also applies to the keys and the time effect group, which hasn't changed. Again, new icons, and I'm actually can't remember right now, but there's a scrubber effect scrubber option. So this will move the scrubber along with whatever shifting value you apply. So that's probably the main new feature, is that there's icons for everything now, which I think helps communicate a little bit more easily and more directly what everything does. So the next big feature is, I'm just going to reset this quickly, is key alignment. And what key alignment is to help you manage a lot of keyframes spread across different layers that are supposed to be all the same, but if you've shifted the layers, like I'm going to do here, I'm just going to randomize everything here. I'm just going to move the selected, and actually I'm going to do a range of 2 seconds, so it only does this is just a quick way of only doing the out point and the selected keyframes. Actually, we can do all keyframes too, and it's only going to move these keyframes that are within 2 seconds, and randomize them. And then I'll just do it over here as well. So completely randomized right now. It's kind of a mess. And so they were all consistent before, but now say I wanted to extend all the keyframes in the on the outside of the layer. I just wanted to extend their duration. Well, you can't just hold down Option and find the earliest keyframe and then drag it forward, because that you'd have to come in here and then realign these with the out points. So that would be kind of a pain. So key alignment basically can solve this problem. So I've selected all the keyframes I want to modify. I'm just going to turn on selected keyframes and turn off the range. And so now I want to get these all aligned again. So I'm going to go here and right align to scrubber. And now all those out keyframes are aligned. And now I can just simply hold down the Option key, drag the leftmost key, and retime that. And now you can see that's, I mean, I've retimed it, but now I need to reapply it to the layer out points. So I just simply click Align to Layer Out Point, and it's going to go and reapply. So that's basically the gist, is that you can make adjustments to keyframes regardless of their temporal position consistently and accurately. So I think that's a pretty powerful feature, and I think it's really cool. So another feature. So you can do left align, right align, depending on whatever circumstance. I chose right align because these two keyframes are already align together, and it would just be easier to it was easier to do the option shift thing from that position. So that's why I did that. But you can also, and I'm not entirely sure why you would need this, but it's there just in case. If you wanted to offset these keyframes or have these keyframes match whatever the following keyframes offsets were, then you can just come here, select the keyframes you want, and click on Align to Next Key. And so basically what that does is that takes all those in keyframes and aligns it to the offset. Did that do that right? Yeah. And it'll align it to the offset of the following keyframe. So you can see that if I drag it over there, it's matching that next keyframe. So I'm not exactly clear on what that could possibly be used for, but I'm sure somebody down the road will find a use for that, and it'll really be a lifesaver. So hopefully that will come in useful someday. The arrange panel. So before there was a selected, there was a sequence and a stagger panel. So I've combined both of those into a single arrange panel because they both shared some similar properties. And now you can just toggle between the staggering and the sequencing by just this drop down. So if you want to do sequence, you just select sequence, and now you're in sequence mode, and everything is the same before. And if you want to go to stagger, then you just select stagger, and now you're in stagger mode. So I think that's all there is to say about that. There's a new help panel that lists all the new bug fixes and features in here, and you can go watch the tutorial just by clicking on that. And then the product page that takes you to the AE Scripts Rift page. Submit feedback takes you to the AE Scripts forum post for submitting feedback, and that's about it. So let me know what you think. Hopefully this is seemingly a good update. Let me know. All right, thanks. Bye.